Happy Memorial Day and welcome back to Beauticians and Musicians. I'm Kristi Phillips, your show host. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm a hairdresser and makeup artist in Plano, Texas. And I've been serving the Dallas area for over 30 years, if you can believe it. And I'm also a singer, and I've studied music and sang since I was 7 years old. Went to SMU, studied music there. I went on to be in several bands, and currently I love to perform at special events and private parties. And I love mostly to sing a song for the soul every week at the end of the show. And if you're tuning in for the first time, this show is about, I love to highlight the best of the best and bring them to you each week. And the best in the beauty industry, as well as our local musicians in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And once a month, I like to do something special. And today is one of those days. And I'm so excited to have two special guests on my show today, Kristi Gabor and Peter Mockler.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for being on the show. Now, Kristi is not only a CEO and founder of Bellator Roofing and Construction, but she's also a U.S. Marine. And Peter is a combat veteran, and he was a sergeant in the U.S. Army as well. And thank y'all so much for being on this show.
Thanks for having us, Kristi.
Thank you for having us.
I would love, and I'm sure everyone would too, love to hear a little background on both of you. And Kristi, go ahead and tell us, what your background is. I mean, I've heard this before, but it's very interesting. Like, you would never think how she's done all these things in such a short period of time.
Okay, so yes, I'm a Marine. I was in the military. I was in Intel. And after getting out of the military, I got into law enforcement. And I served in law enforcement for about 8 years. And I struggled to find my purpose in life. And about 2 years ago, I identified my purpose, and it was to serve. I kept finding myself in a place that I was always serving the community, serving our country. And I decided that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and open a business of my own. And I got into the roofing industry here in Texas. And my vision for the company was to be able to have a way for veterans to be able to provide for their families when they don't fit into that grid of 8 to 5 Monday through Friday any longer. And it's very difficult for them to acclimate coming back and getting into life the way they knew it. Mm-hmm. And so that's a big, that's where my heart is.
That's awesome. And I know that y'all do a lot of things for veterans in the Dallas area as well. And we'll get more into that as we go along. And Peter, I would love for you to share your story.
Sure. I was a late bloomer in the military. I actually joined at 33, went through basic training at Fort Benning for all my Fort Benning guys out there. So I did combat medic school, and then I did nursing school, and then 9/11 hit. Deployed 3 times. So wow. I was the Doc Mock of the group. Did 8 years, came home, kicked around a little bit, taught some, and then found a calling with the VFW, 2195 up in Allen, Texas. Mm-hmm. And from there, I became the post surgeon, so I deal directly with veterans and their families in need. That's where I'm at now.
And did you find it hard, to come back? Like
extremely
each
difficult.
Time, 3 times?
Extremely difficult. Mm-hmm. Just the ability or the inability to turn off the being on switch all the time, or being active 24 hours a day kind of thing. Coming mm-hmm. home and just the shifted gears. Mm-hmm. I always felt really strange going to Walmart when I came back from deployments, because I felt like I needed to arm myself going into the parking lots. But if you show that picture back up there again, mm-hmm. So that's an interesting picture. That's my best bud there with the other glasses on. I'm in the middle. I'm the ugly one in the middle. But it was a joint operation. We were in Afghanistan right there, and we're actually sitting on an abandoned Russian tank right there. So the whole picture doesn't show the whole story, but great experience with a lot of good people, a lot of good guys. Very difficult in Afghanistan, but it was wonderful coming home and trying to help out the veterans again when I get home. So
And I know you have children as well.
I
right?
do. I just had a daughter graduate 2 days ago.
Oh, awesome.
So she's off to college here shortly. And I've got another little boy at home. So
And how old is he?
he is 14,
14.
and doesn't like to be social, I guess.
He
So,
doesn't.
but we're getting there. We'll work through it. And then I recently joined with Kristi, working with Bellator, and she helps me with veterans as well. So
And what other ways do you have other veterans that you employ as well within your company? And what kind of positions do they, like, there's probably a lot of, I don't know that much about roofing, but she did my roof, by the way. And it looks amazing because it was looking pretty bad. They were like, this is bad.
They're project managers.
Okay, project managers. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so what are some ways that y'all help to serve the veterans that are out there with their needs? Like, what are some different things that people that are watching can do, maybe if they want to help or contribute to that?
Peter can share on that.
as far as through Bellator or through the VFW?
I guess through the
specifically?
VFW.
So VFW specifically, obviously, it's a nonprofit organization, and we're geared or designed to raise funds throughout the year, and those funds are intended to be spent entirely just on veterans in need. So a majority, I say 95% of our monies that we get through either donations or fundraisers go towards those veterans. So we should be in almost like a zero balance at the end of each year.
That's
And
awesome.
then we try to achieve
And it
that.
helps them with their finance of getting a home or things like that, or the medical?
No, not so much as getting a home. That's a little bit more extensive. Usually it's a slush fund of money that we can help them out with rent, or they get behind on a car payment. Maybe they've lost their job.
Yeah.
Help them with some bills, things of that nature. And it's just a temporary fix, but we try to guide them through other organizations to get some better help.
Right. And is there good counseling available for people going through emotional struggles?
It's out there, but oftentimes the veterans are reaching out probably at either a late breaking point. So sometimes it's difficult to reel them back in.
Right.
Or it's something that's happened and it's almost as if it's too late to get them the proper help. So it's very difficult, especially veterans. We're kind of a prideful group of individuals, and we're usually the last ones to reach out for help at the very last minute. Maybe a friend or family will say, "Hey, this guy really needs," or "This female woman needs help," and we try to assist with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really like that with people with depression anyway. I think, like once they're deep in it, they can't even reach out. Like
Correct.
someone who just maybe be depressed for a day.
Correct.
And like my friend, my co-host, normally my co-host Jen, she's here, and she has a show called Big Bold You, and she really focuses once a month on depression and suicide and different things like that with people that they have. So.
Correct. We're trying to get into a point. In fact, I'll be doing a small class in a couple months for the post members
Okay.
to maybe help with some identifiers with individuals that might be experiencing some post-traumatic stress disorder or depression, things of that nature.
So there's like a group therapy to kind of help to prevent it if they'll come to it.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a group therapy as much as it's just kind of a social interaction to kind of introduce them into what's actually what they're going through. There's not going to be per se counseling going on because we're not certified to do that. It's just more of an open quorum or forum to bounce some ideas off of each other.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I know they need that. And so, Kristi, I know that you have we have some photos of some clients of yours.
Yes.
And they are veterans as well.
Yes, they are.
And I think the first one we have is of Bill and his family.
Yes. Bill is also a post member with the Allen VFW, and I'd like all you to say a prayer for Bill. He's battling with cancer right now, so keep him in your prayers. He's a great guy. He was actually with us at Baton. You'll see pictures of that later.
Yeah,
in the
that looked
show.
pretty rough. We'll show some baton pictures. I remember you telling me about it. I'm like, what are you doing again? And then we have, I think, I forgot their names, but the picture of the couple. We have them as
Okay.
well.
Tom and Nancy.
Yes.
Tom and Nancy.
Yes,
Oh,
Tom and Nancy.
That's Donna. Tom and
Or
Donna.
Tom and Donna. I'm
Tom and
sorry.
Donna.
Yes, and He's also a veteran. He's part of the post with the Allen VFW also. Yeah, they're a very sweet couple.
And then I referred you Brian, which we don't have a picture of Brian, but a
Right.
client of mine who is a veteran. I didn't even know that.
He is, yes.
You just happened to be at the salon that day, and that worked
Right.
out awesome. And then we have another lady that you helped with her home.
And so this is Miss Betty Ann, and she's part of the auxiliary with the VFW, and she does a tremendous amount of volunteer work. She makes all sorts of things for veterans, different types of community outreach programs, and her husband was a veteran also, and but he's passed away. So she does a tremendous amount to help the community.
And so if someone wanted to donate, money to, do we have a link that we can post after the show, possibly, that maybe if they wanted to do that?
They could. They go to VFW 2195.com, and there's some drop-down menus that they can look at.
And see how they want to.
Sure. If you
give
want to
back.
contact me, contact the post surgeon, Peter Mockler, on VFW 2195.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be great.
My phone number's on there, so.
Okay, fantastic. So tell us about this baton march. I've learned a lot since meeting Kristi.
You want to do it? You want me to do it?
No, go for it.
So it's out in White Sands. It's called the Baton Memorial Death March, and it's a remembrance of the historical march of the U.S. POWs into the Philippines, into Bataan.
I'm saying it wrong. Baton.
Yeah, Bataan.
Bataan makes more sense. I think I've heard that
Yeah.
before, but I hadn't heard of baton.
Most of them say Bataan. When you say Bataan, you think of that little thing. That you hand off to
Right,
somebody.
right. Yeah.
But interesting, when I was in nursing school back in 2001, we had to do it. The instructors made us do it. It was either we volunteer or we actually do the 26.5 miles up into the mountains of White Sands.
Walking?
Yeah. There's no running for us. But it was an all-day event, about 9-10 hours. So 17 years later, I had the idea of let's do it again. And some other post members and I, Bill Swafford in particular, our post commander Curtis Mitchell.
After you forgot how painful it was?
Yeah, right. I'm like, it's going to be extremely difficult. 17
Right.
years later, it was actually easier.
Oh, it was?
For me, yeah. I felt I found it. I was already prepared mentally.
Oh, yeah.
For
That
what I was
helps.
Yeah. So we did it. It's part of our new program within the VFW called Team AMP.
Team AMP.
Armistice Memorial Post. And you can go on that on Facebook as well and look at Team AMP. And we got some really good pictures there. So I think it's going to be kind of our benchmark event each year to do Bataan. And this year we had 7.
Okay.
Last year.
There
the year,
y'all are.
Yeah.
Is that y'all?
Yeah.
This year?
Yeah. So last year, not this one, but the year before, we had 4.
Okay.
So now we got 7. I'm not sure how many numbers we're going to get next year, but it's not an easy event. It's an all-day thing, and it's just a great experience to see people all
And there's
sizes.
a lot of people. I think we have a. Do we have
There's
that picture?
wounded veterans out there. There's
Yeah.
W amputees.
All ages.
Yeah. In fact, last year there was a Bataan service member who was actually there.
Oh, wow.
And he did the first 8 miles. I think he's 94.
I was going to ask, how
Yeah.
old is he?
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
awesome,
Yeah,
though.
First one that's ever done that.
Wow.
Did 8 miles. So.
Wow, 90-something years old.
Yeah.
Now that guy must be doing pretty good.
I think
8
so.
miles.
Hanging in there. I don't know
wow.
if they had IVs going in them or not. I never
Right?
saw them. But
Because I think we have a picture of Kristi having to get a snack and change her socks. Right, there it
There
is.
she
Yep.
is, yeah.
Where did you have blisters or what?
Oh, yes. And Peter had to cut them open, and it was extremely painful.
You really had blisters.
Yes.
Oh, that's the worst. Oh my gosh, you needed more than a change of socks.
Well,
Oh
that's
my
all I had.
gosh. And so, how long does it take you to do it?
Well, typically it takes about 8 to 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We did it in 11 and a half, I believe. One of our post members was kind of dragging a little bit, so we kind of went ahead, and then we stopped and waited for him to catch up. That and the fact that Kristi had to pee break every mile and a half.
Well,
So every mile and a half.
Us girls have to do that,
Every mile and a half, it was
Yeah.
like, hey, pull over, let's go.
I gotta pull over. I
Yep.
gotta pull over.
So, but it was still.
And you just
very-
go out there behind a rock or something.
Yep, bush, or tumbleweed, something. Yeah.
You got to get over it and just make it happen.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, but you kind of psych yourself up for that as well.
Not really. I'm used to
Put a
it.
couple of leaves in your backpack. I mean, tissue papers. In the country. Well, never mind. We won't say that. I grew up in Idabel, Oklahoma. I think we've peed behind a tree with a leaf. I mean, I don't know why I'm even saying that right now, but I think we have.
Well, anybody out there that's interested in this, you can go out there and volunteer.
Yeah.
They love to have you. And every station, every water station, every
There's
aid
people
station,
volunteer there.
It's just amazing, and they're encouraging. There's not a frown on anybody's faces out there. It's they know what you're in for.
Was this in the summer? I can't remember if it was.
It's in March.
It was in March.
Typically,
okay.
it's the third, maybe fourth week of March.
Okay.
Typically.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
26 miles. There's snacks and quick ones.
26.6 miles.
They're for
So there's
it-
the 26
There-
mile
there it
marker.
is.
But
Yeah.
they didn't have one at the 26.6, but that was the last one
You were
they had.
smiling even though your blisters had to
Oh,
be.
yes, yes.
I just,
Yes.
that just sounds painful. So what are some other ways that y'all raise money throughout the year? What are some different events?
We just did this Memorial Day weekend here. We do Buddy Poppy, which is everything that we get collected.
Oh, I
there.
got one of those.
Yeah, the
I
little
went to
red-
Market Street.
Yeah, okay, good.
Was it yesterday? I guess it was yesterday, and I got me one.
All right.
I meant to wear it today.
Yeah, I should have that on
Dadgummit.
there. So that's once a year, and then we do Labor Day again as another event. Those are the two primary four donations into the organization for veterans.
And what is the event like for those different holidays? Are they out, like these guys were sitting out in front of Market Street?
Yeah, Market Street and typically a Walmart.
Okay.
And we're out there all weekend, just basically saying hi to the community. And,
Mm-hmm.
it could be family members. Typically, we get more family members of a service member than the actual service member themselves.
Mm-hmm. I think the service member handed me my puppy.
May have.
And it was a little wire, and I wrapped
Right.
it around my shirt, and it must have fallen off, and I totally forgot about it till right now, because I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to wear this tomorrow," and then bam, forgot.
Yeah, the donations will come from the community
Yeah.
pretty much. Usually they I don't want to say they feel guilty, but they feel responsible for helping us out a little bit. So it's a good thing.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And well, I have a special song and tribute that actually Kristi helped me with it, and I got to give credit to her because she came up with the idea, and it was an amazing idea. And now I'm going to hope I get this right, but this song was rewritten. Everyone knows Hallelujah, but the song was rewritten by Sailor Jerry. And I think I don't know if she is in the military or if she's the wife of a military person, but she rewrote this for veterans. And so we'll play a special tribute now. You packed your bags and shut the door. You cried to know just what would happen to ya. Stepped in the dirt, boots on the ground, and gunfire was the only sound. To yourself you whisper hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Every day and every night you walked the walk, you fought the fight. You never saw the end in sight, now did ya? The days are washing a haze of red, the blood, the mud, too many dead. Your weary soul was crying, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Too late to help you hear a shot. You know you're in a deadly spot. You never thought this day would come, now did ya? Your brother falls down to the ground. The enemy is all around, and from your lips you scream hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. You fought the fight till it was done. You have the strength to carry on. You thought it'd be much better back home, did ya? You try each day, keep pushing through, but the battle lives inside of you. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah,
I can't believe I kept it together. Thank you, Kristi. It was beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you, Kristi, for coming up with that idea. I mean, I loved it. It's probably the most meaningful for me time that I've had in preparing a song for the show. And I just am really blessed to know both of you and have you both on the show today. And I want to thank you both for so much for all the service, the protecting and serving our country, first of all, and what you do to serve the community and our veterans today, because they need people like you. And I'm sure that if there's anyone who wants to volunteer that isn't
Absolutely.
that has experience with these things and can help you guys serve the veterans, then they can reach out to you, and I'll post in the comments
Okay.
again for people to know what link and where to go.
That'd be great.
And since today is Memorial Day, I would love to hear from you out there. If a veteran has touched your life in some way, please post below the video. And you can go to facebook.com/SoVeryKristi, and that's So Very, Kristi. I would love to hear your story and read your story, because we all have powerful stories that will lift other people up just from our own experiences. And again, thank you so much for serving our country and protecting us. And we love you guys. And if there's anything I can do from this point forward, just reach out and let me know. And this is So Very Kristi, thanking you for making this world a better place. And we'll be back next week. Have a beautiful rest of your day.